when Tupac died, man, it was like, I mean, back then we didn't have social media, but it took everybody by storm. Like, it was on TV, it was on the radio, and everybody instantly said Biggie and them did it.
Yo, what up, though? It's your boy Hallie. Hallie Napoleon. What up, dude? Monster Gang. Detroit representative to the day that I die.
I want to thank everybody for the love.
Real talk. Holla at your boy, let's get it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, boy. All praises to the Most High. All game, no gimmicks. Hallie.
What up, it's your boy Hallie from the Monster Gang, Detroit representative to the day that I die. You know how we do, East Side in the building. Man, I remember when Tupac came out, and you know, at first he was like conscious and with Digital Underground and all that, and you know, when he dropped the Brenda's Got a Baby, you still really didn't know who Pac was, but it was like, man, that song kind of sweet, you know what I'm saying? And as he progressed, you could see that this was one of them dudes, like he was up here with it. And it's crazy because Tupac and Biggie, you could tell that they was cool because they both had those same kind of minds, you know. They rap differently because Biggie was more of a chemist and Tupac was more of a mad scientist. But I can remember, like, when he dropped Me Against the World, it was popping everywhere. Like, people was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? But when All Eyes on Me came out, that's when Tupac went full blast. Like, he was a whole nother person. He was still revolutionary, but he turned into something else. Music started being like less conscious and more in the streets. You know, that was when Bone Thugs and different people was coming out, and it started to be more about the streets and less about the Public Enemy type rap. And Biggie was still that chemist. He was still dropping music that when you listen to it, you like, this dude's so lyrical. But Tupac would be dropping music that just, you felt it right here. So Biggie was like up here, and Tupac was like here and here. So he was a double whammy. And when they started beefing, I mean, you honestly could tell that neither one of them really wanted to beef. You could definitely tell Biggie didn't want to beef. But Tupac, I think, was more forced into a role of strategizing. Not saying he came up with it, not saying he didn't, but the way it came across was strategy. See, Tupac is an actor on top of being a rapper. Biggie wasn't an actor. All Biggie's feelings was on his sleeve. They were genuine. Tupac could switch from militant to revolutionary to playboy to shy to crazy. He could switch any role. And it almost seemed like this whole thing was like a playwright. And we ate up every moment of it. Tupac was going at everybody. Mobb Deep, Nas, Chino XL, like he was going there. And I'm young, very young. But I could see the change in rap going from the Daz effects and how back when Busta was, you know, old Busta, Tribe Called Quest, and, you know, all those type, De La Soul type people, all that music was gone, you know. And that was when Dre kind of, he couldn't, before he caught Eminem, Dre was, you know, he was hanging on for dear life. No disrespect to Dre, you know what I'm saying, but we all know how that went. So when Tupac died, man, it was like, I mean, back then we didn't have social media, but it took everybody by storm. Like, it was on TV.
I wish I had a chance to actually meet Tupac. His music meant a lot for our people.
In the years since the death of Tupac Shakur, the emotions his murder stirred up have quieted, but the debate over his legacy, who he was and who he might have become, has begun to rage.
It was on the radio, and everybody instantly said Biggie and them did it. Puffy and them did it. You had those few guys who was like, nah, how did Suge survive? He did it. Then you had that real small percentage of people who went in conspiracy mode. But when Pac died, it was like it was like one of your best friends dying, you know. And then when Biggie left a year later, with the Life After Death, I mean, 2 albums basically. Biggie had 2. He had a double disc, and he had the 1 album, you know, the Ready to Die and Life After Death. So we didn't even get to experience Biggie as a whole. So it's like him dying took our heart and our mind. Biggie dying took our mind and our heart. So it was a crazy thing that the 2 biggest heavyweights in hip hop, gone like that. And then who comes up? Jay-Z, Nas, DMX, Eminem. The list goes on. And rap just was never the same to people from that era. That's why when you ask them who's their favorites, most people are saying Tupac or Biggie, because they had people in a place that nobody else ever had them in. And that's real.
All praises to the